Self-help for post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, from getselfhelp.co.uk. The vicious cycle of PTSD. You've experienced this traumatic event at some point in the past, and because of that, you're going to be on alert. You're going to have this focus on potential danger. So when there's any reminder of the event, it triggers off this process. The thoughts that something bad is going to happen, this same thing is happening all over again. I could die. It stimulates this flashback, this reminder of this past trauma, but it feels exactly like it's happening again right now. You would re-experience all that anxiety, that terror, that anger, all those horrible, horrible feelings that you experienced back then. It's happening again now. Obviously, these are really horrible. You don't want to experience them. So you're going to try and escape that situation and get away from whatever is causing that. And also you're going to try and avoid getting yourself into a situation where that might be triggered again. And the more you avoid and escape and avoid thinking about it and any reminders, so the brain doesn't process the memory, and so it's likely to keep happening again, and we get caught up in this vicious cycle. You experience flashbacks and nightmares, and because we avoid any reminder of that traumatic event, the brain isn't able to file away the event as a past memory. So when we get a flashback, it feels like it's happening all over again right now. So instead of being a past memory, it remains a current threat. With CBT, we can learn to break the cycle. We can learn to think differently and do things differently. And we can think differently by using stop skill and challenging the way we think. We can learn to discriminate between that was then, this is now. And you can learn to shift your focus of attention so you're not on alert all the time. You may need to see a CBT or an EMDR therapist to help you file away the trauma as a past memory, so it's no longer a current threat. And that's going to stop the flashbacks. We can learn to do things differently. You can learn coping skills and grounding techniques for the flashbacks. You can plan to face the triggers rather than keep avoiding them, and learn to stick with that situation, so learn coping skills to help you to cope with that distress. And you can help the brain to process the trauma as a past memory by talking about it or writing it an account of that traumatic event. So if you're thinking and doing things differently, then that's going to have an impact on how you feel. You're going to feel less anxiety. The flashbacks are going to reduce. So visit the webpage get.gg/ptsd.htm. Follow the steps in the self-help guide. And you can download the guided self-help MP3s. You may need to see a therapist for further help in helping the brain to process that memory. Getselfhelp.co.uk, CBT, self-help and therapy resources.